you to Amy then. Now, as we know, the NFT market is absolutely booming. Last year, we saw $41 billion in crypto purchased into NFT markets. So now we're going to be taking a look at NFTs, but with a focus on the celebrity element. So it's an absolute pleasure to welcome to the stage Brooke Shields, model, actress, and entrepreneur, and also Todd Goren to have the conversations of celebrity NFTs in the marketplace.
She's nude. Thank you. This is my better side. Hey there. Thank you for inviting me. This is the first time I've done anything like this, and I'm learning a lot.
I think you're going to be fine. So that vignette, that was a social share created by Brooke's team about an NFT that we made, which was actually minted in outer space. And it was part of an overall project where we've been working for about a year trying to figure out what we want to do, and then we had 5 days to create to create an image that we were then going to mint in outer space. And then Brooke decides, well, there's a naked picture of me in Bahamas. I said, that's a great idea.
Yeah, if I had a dime. No, it's actually, I used to have a body double. This is not a body double, I will say. But as someone who's been in this industry and who's had her image captured, let's just say that, since I was 11 months old, the concept of actually owning your own image and owning yourself, so to speak, was a really interesting concept to me. I did not know about the NFT world. Todd was brilliant enough to be able to explain it to me and make it more personal. And we go to the Bahamas a lot, and my husband, the photo started off as a joke, because I have a really lovely friend who's got the most beautiful body I've ever seen, and she's always sort of naked on this tree, so we call it the naked tree. So one day I said to my husband, let's take a picture of me naked on the tree, and we'll give it to her. It was totally a joke, but because he actually clicked it, he owned the picture, even though it was on my phone, and then he had to sign it over to me, which was very interesting, because Richard Prince appropriated an image of me that was taken when I was 9. And that image sold for $1 million. And I didn't get anything from it. I didn't want anything from it. But that whole concept of not owning your actual image is
So you think
important.
about how many artists have died penniless that have created hundreds of millions of billions of dollars of art, whether it's a Van Gogh or it's a Matisse or whatever. And the concept of being able to own your own creations is what drew this to you. Sorry, I'm not used to microphones. So maybe talk a little bit about that. So you own your own creation, the longevity of it,
and also being not looking at myself as a Picasso or a Matisse, but being the actual subject of something. We're not taught that. We're not taught that you can actually, you're not actually a part of said ownership. So that was one of the things that was really important to me, to sort of be able to be at the forefront of what I do with how I'm pictured. Not just the person taking the photo, but being the subject of it.
Right, so most of the people in this room understand how safe contracts and NFTs work, but the ability to set ahead of time what your lifetime participation in your art, your creation, whether it's a song or whether it's a painting, whether it's a photograph, anything is a very attractive concept for people like you that have had their images taken over many, many years.
Well, it's a powerful concept. It allows you to be a part of the whole process, so that every time you are sold again, which is, when you're an actress or a model, that's what you're constantly sold, and you're a commodity. So to actually be a participant in that, I think is very attractive, and it gives you confidence, and it allows you to sort of be a part of the whole the whole game, so to speak.
Yeah, it is very interesting to see the kind of the other side of blockchain that we in the business kind of think about it very differently than someone whose image has been being taken. But so in that NFT is embedded, it's a safe contract, so it's embedded in there that Brooke will get forever a portion of the sale of that, even if it trades 100 times over the next 100 years, or her descendants will. So that is...
Or even if it just sells once.
You get more than that.
I'll take it.
Go ahead.
No, wait, I could do a monologue, but go ahead, ask a question.
So the original concept behind when she approached me about working with her on some NFTs, it was the idea of that she has these diaries that she's had her whole life, and there are archives and there's boxes and boxes of these photographs and magazine covers and movies and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and have the organization to be able to actually put it all together and have it organized and have a catalog, and then putting them on NFTs, which will keep them.
And also giving the estate of Keith Haring or the estate of Warhol or all of these sort of people that I came into contact with in the 80s. Every time I worked with a different photographer, we had Polaroids. We were in the day of Polaroids, and I kept them all. And I didn't keep them for any other reason other than to remember that moment, right? And so I just recently unearthed all of them, and that was our original. But I don't own all those photos. So the beauty of that is the photographer will participate, I will participate, the people in the photo will participate, and it makes you feel good about life.
If anyone's good friends of the Richard Avedon estate, would be great.
Yeah, no, his son has been really generous, and I've already contacted him about it. And the idea that the artist actually does own the photo, but then the person in it is a participant. And to me, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Does anybody have any questions? How's the salmon?
Any questions? Anything?
Is it good? Everybody's eating. It's good. It's a hard room when people are eating, but yeah, I don't know. Like as a celebrity, I don't even know what that means anymore. I don't know. Influencer, celebrity. I'm not quite sure what I'm being called these days. But having been around for 56 years, even though I'm only 28, I don't know how. Do you do the math? I've seen this industry. Well, this industry didn't exist, but I've seen my industry change very, very, continuously. And to kind of come into it at this level and really understand it, I thank you guys all for the work that you do every other day of the year.
It's P.T. Barnum all over again.
It is, but it's all a hustle.
TikTok is P.T. Barnum.
It's all a circus, it's all a hustle, but yeah, that's it. So that's why I'm here, that's why I decided to do this.
We wanted to give you something light so you can enjoy your lunch. Exactly.
I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Unless
Thanks.
anybody has a question. They're all raising their hand at once. That's okay. Oh, there is one. I like it.
Andrew, did you hear that?
Did you hear it?
Of a photograph. Oh, did you hear it or should I try it again? One more time?
Okay.
Now, okay. Are you making the distinction between being the subject of a painting and the subject of a photograph?
I think what she's making the distinction is that the artist who is painting a painting you sell it once and you never get to sell it again. And when you're talking about a photograph, you're talking about at least two different layers, unless it's a selfie, right? You're talking about the photographer, you're talking about the subject, and in many cases, there's other people involved, depending on what the purpose of the photograph was. So you want to talk about maybe some of the advertising stuff and things like that?
I mean, there's so many different layers to it, right? So if I'm paid to be in an ad, I think I've been paid, and I'm there just for that purpose of advertising whatever item that they want me to. That's different. I've collaborated with many artists, and I sit for them, painters predominantly, and to me, they own that. They own that image. I was a conduit, right? So that is my relationship. Every time that painting sells, I love the fact that they'll continuously get paid for that. It's different to me when it's a photograph that I'm in personally, which I've always been photographed by paparazzi, right? They make that's what they do. They capture your image, they steal it, and they sell it. I get it. But the distinction I'm making there is that felt stolen from me, and to be able to be an owner in that transaction, that's the distinction that I make. So I think there is still a place for art to be art, and that's why I think an artist who can paint a painting, they should own it, and they should be able to own it in perpetuity, at least a portion.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the idea, that the multi-layer. So it's an advertisement that's done by a photographer, and they're paying a model to sell that product, right? So whether it's jeans or lipstick or whatever, right? I mean,
jeans or lipstick. Yep. Jeans or lipstick.
Okay, what else are we selling today?
I've sold a lot of things in my life, and
I'm talking about some of the iconic images that are your advertisements are some things like jeans. Okay, we all know they're very famous advertisements, but those advertisements actually become iconic, and they actually become artwork. If not a painting, it's still a production. It's artwork, and it has part of your soul in it. So therefore, why not think about something like that, what you did for Calvin Klein and the Richard Avedon, and going the layers upon layers upon layers of that, and it's withstand the test of time. So it is something that has become more than an advertisement, and that is why I was using a jeans commercial.
But that's also why the Avedon estate, why they deserve, because he was the artist behind that. I was the conduit, and I got paid as a model. I don't feel like I own that. But I feel, to a certain extent, I'm just very glad that his artwork is something that his family can still benefit from.
But if it lasts this long, it's more than...
Yeah, I guess I want something that becomes
iconic. That's kind
iconic.
of my point. It becomes iconic, and there are a lot of pieces in that puzzle, and it's more of a collaboration than chattel.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
They're bringing out the dessert. I think
okay,
this
good.
is,
That's
I feel a hook coming.
Oh, wait, yes, right, we have a question.
Hi, Brooke. My name is Chip Daniels, and it's great to talk with you. I grew up with you. I am chairman of a new digital security token exchange called State Stocks, which just launched. And my question to you is, would you consider securitizing your asset? The image is an asset. And would you consider securitizing that to create value for yourself and to share that with others? And if so, State Stocks could be a good platform for you.
Talk about advertisement.
Yeah, I give you credit. You're good.
So the idea of like David Bowie securitizing his music, or Michael Jackson.
You know what? I think that when someone is a musician and they create their own music, I think it's easier. I'm learning how to own my image and learning how to securitize my own image. It's kind of a delicate balance, I have to say. If I produced something like music, then I'm like, oh, I understand that. So I think that this is a whole new era of actually owning your whole person. And to me, that's worth securitizing.
So how would we price that?
What's that?
How would we price that? What's the offer?
Yeah, sure. There's another gentleman. Okay.
Yeah. Hey guys. Let me take what Chip said a step further here. Thinking about how do you price that? Hypothetically, let's say, Brooke, you wake up tomorrow and you decide, I'm going to make my biography movie or miniseries. And normally you go out and you do a movie, you do a series, you go out and you raise money, right? You raise equity, you raise debt. Here's a situation where you can do that, but you also have this ability to say, do something with your iconic imagery over the years. Sell NFTs based on that. Perhaps use that to finance a project. I was wondering what Todd and Brooke, what your thoughts might be on that. Because there's something you're establishing of value.
I mean, the whole concept, and it started as a conversation, over a glass of wine, which was, okay,
Tequila.
Well, it was tequila. That's absolutely true. And so, so here are some photographs. Here's some images from my diary. So, you have everybody always likes to talk about the Blue Lagoon. And so she has notebooks and diaries from the Blue Lagoon that have Polaroids taped in with her handwritten notes at the time. That is something that is interesting to me and should be interesting to a lot of people. So that's something, Michael, where you do an NFT of that, and then, okay, so do we do multiple images of the same? This is why it gets so complicated. So yes, the idea is to do many, many, many of these over a long period of time for the rest of our lives and get it done right, but take our time and make sure that when we're thinking about it as a whole, it makes sense. Is that?
Yeah, and I mean, just to add to that and finish, because our time's up. Oh no, then the clock starts going the opposite way. That's so funny. It goes, yeah, we're over the time. But I used to keep these diaries because I wanted to know that I existed. I know that sounds weird, but everything was documented because my life was so crazy and I was in so many different places with different people all the time, that these diaries were a way for me to say, oh, I was here, I'm here now, and to document my life, and they all have photographs in them. So that is the initial reason why we joined forces. And so, to me, that is my version of an autobiography.